Listeners be advised. The Soliloquy podcast discuss matters related to the human experience and many that are sexual in nature. Due to this, some conversations may surround triggering topics such as sexual violence, self-harm, abuse, and much more. Please be advised, a list of crisis and psychological resources will be available in the show notes of this episode. With that said, let's get started with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please as we go through the following safety instructions.
In the event that there is a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will drop from the overhead. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Breathe normally as oxygen is flowing even if the mask is not inflated. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak about sexuality. This is your favorite host, Vernon T. Scott, also known as Slaytor Jackson, and also known as, for you freaking motherfuckers, Sebastian Adams. On this episode, we are talking about labels. And on today's episode, I have Shane once more. Now, oh God, just to let y'all know, this bitch decided to torture me before this episode and asked me to look up September by Taylor Swift, and my soul is aching right now. So I am hurt. I'm a little bit depressed, and I was not ready to even hear any of that. Red Light Disco this entire episode, because that was not okay.
No, it's just a torturous sound.
It's so horrible. Like who?
And only those that don't understand good taste and quality music like it.
Like, I'm not even going to say that, Taylor Swift can't sing anything, because she does have a wonderful voice, but that there are certain things that you just should not touch, certain things you should not cover, certain things you shouldn't even think about. Like, she needed a black mama to be right there and slap the fuck out of her hands.
Not you slapping the hands.
I'm just saying, cause y'all I had to quit. Like, I was 3 seconds in and I was done. And Shane was like
skipping through it automatically.
Shane was like, you have to go back. She was like, I had to go back. So I went back. And look, I was in my head, I was screaming Red Light Disco, y'all. It was too much. It was way too much. But continue doing what you're doing, Taylor. Just not that. Just leave it alone, please. My soul, like that. Like I need to like get a spiritual cleanse after that. I need to sage my house after listening to that song. It just got hot in here. Oh my God! And we're not talking about fucking Nelly. See, that song brought the devil in my house. Oh my God. Oh God, I'm sorry, you Taylor Swift fans.
They're not.
Y'all be you right.
What they gonna do? Show up at our houses?
They better not. Better not.
I got these hands and several weapons in this house. You'll get one of them.
Amen. Y'all want these problems?
Definitely one of the me-sized problem in their life.
Right.
Because after I finish whooping their ass, I'm going to terrorize them for a couple weeks.
You might as well. Mine as well.
You know what? Since you seem to have time to come to my house and bother me, I'm going to bother you.
Look, be their best friend on Facebook, Instagram, all. just remind you, I'm here. Since you want to pull up, you thought.
You had the time.
Had all the fucking.
I have time now. We both have plenty of time.
Right. So, on today's episode, after that traumatic experience, we are talking about labels, y'all.
This nigga said traumatic experience.
I labeled it as traumatic. Look at that. Play on words.
I hate you.
So, Shane, I know you hate me, which I appreciate. I love you too. How do you feel about labels?
In the context of a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they are useful in certain situations.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
because I am a firm believer I am single until stated otherwise.
Girl, I'm the same way because I'm just like, either you have to vocalize exactly what we are so we can define everything, or I'm out here being free. I'm out here doing my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I respect whatever, like, a label in a way does set a little bit of a boundary. And if you are not willing to establish or say exactly what this is, then I'm not going to make something up for you. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
get those people who are like, oh, I just go with the flow. Okay, go with the flow. You're going to continue to go with the flow. And if you start doing these relationship things, I'm going to like accept it, whatever. I'm here for it. But in my mind, we're not in a committed romantic relationship at
Mm-hmm.
all because we haven't had that conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like, for me, people like to throw around the word talking a lot, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
But it's like I would not tell someone that I'm going out on a date with them if I'm just trying to grab dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, somebody hit me up, this is some time ago, asking to like hang out, go grab some food. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm down with doing that. And I get there. We went to get, like, what was it? Japanese food. And we're just having great conversation, enjoying the moment. And then we ended up going to like the Riverwalk here in Augusta and just chilled out there. There was a snake on the ground too. I remember that vividly because I don't fuck with snakes. I just don't. But we just, having great conversations, whatever. And then we go separate ways and they're acting like this was an entire date. I was like, if
Mm-hmm.
you wanted it to be a date, you could have said that. You could have vocalized that you wanted to go out on a date, and then we would
Mm-hmm.
have been dating. We would have started that. We would have been able to communicate that. But no, you just say you wanted to hang out and grab food. So that's what I
Mm-hmm.
did.
Yeah. You can hang out and grab food with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be dating. I hang out and grab food with my friends all the time, co-workers.
Mm-hmm. And I think, and it's crazy because I know that person wanted to have sex too. And I'm just like, I don't, even if I can feel that's the energy that you're putting off, closed mouths don't get fed around here.
Mm-hmm.
Vocalize what you want.
Yeah.
So what about labels in terms of like identity?
Me.
Like bi, gay, pan,
Okay, my self-identification.
mm-hmm,
For me, like I am pansexual.
mm,
That took a bit to understand because pansexuality is not as commonly talked about as some of the other sexual orientations.
mm-hmm,
So for my pansexuality, like a lot of it is like if you're a chill person, yeah, me and you can rock, me and you can try this out. I never really paid attention to a person's gender, gender identification, sexual orientation. If you cool peoples, you respect me, you treat me well, we can rock.
mm,
That's how I've always classified myself, my pansexuality. That's me. And then like when it comes down to like my own gender, I do not fully identify as female.
mm-hmm,
I literally will answer to any pronoun, long as it's said respectfully,
mm.
which is why I do go by Shane more often than my full name, because it's a little bit more fluid and
Ambiguous.
hmm?
I say ambiguous.
Yeah, fluid, ambiguous, and how you want to identify it.
Mm,
Because it took me a while to come to that like my identification because of how people you can only do two. Have
girl.
people always like, well, you have to be she, her, she, they, them, she, all of that. Like you got to be either identify as a feminine or masculine pronoun, and then the neutral one.
Mm,
For me, I'm any at any given day or point of time. So I answer to all
I get that.
because I am very comfortable with myself as a human being. Now, my physical appearance, yes, I struggle with that, but I'm comfortable with me
Mm,
and my identification for my gender and sexuality. Appearance and mental health, that's completely different. Like, I still struggle with both of them. I am actively seeking, like, I am actively getting help for my mental health.
mm-hmm,
So it's like, yeah, you can be, for me, like, yeah, I'm maybe comfortable with myself my sexuality, but I still struggle with other things.
See, most when it comes to like sexual identities and stuff like that, well, sexual orientation, I know somebody might be upset with me, most definitely, since it is technically Pride Month when we're recording this. But if you mad, just be mad. It is what it is. It's okay. This is not said out of malice. But I don't like the concept of LGBTQ plus. The reason why is because we focus so much on the identity aspect rather than the
Mm-hmm.
expression aspect of things, because like it can be so much more simpler. uh, if we just like, when I think of like trans people, I see trans people however they identify. If you say
Yeah.
I am a woman, I see you as a woman. If you say I
Yeah.
am non-binary, I see you as non-binary. If you say I am a man, I see you as man, regardless of
Mm-hmm.
what your genitalia might look like, or even if you're intersex, I see you however you choose to identify. And I like, whenever I think of like the concept of homosexual, bisexual, and heterosexual, I think of more so of what's in that discussion, more so what's in your pants, rather than someone like I'm falling for someone of the same gender. Is more I'm falling for someone of the same sexual organ. So like, hey, if you're heterosexual, you're more tend to like that person that has the opposite sexual organ than yourself. Bisexual, you have that variety of, whatever's in that person's pants. And then you have homosexual, the same, sexual organ. And then when it comes to like expression, is more so of like demisexual, and that's, those people who need that emotional connection.
Mm-hmm.
Sapiosexual, those who are more inclined to liking somebody based off of their intelligence.
Yeah.
And when you think of it that way, that well, for myself, that gives leeway for those people who are like under what we classify now, like, the cishet people. That gives
Mm-hmm.
them the opportunity of knowing that their sexual expression in itself is still relevant and still a part of, natural world, because you do have people who are heterosexual
Mm-hmm.
who are also demisexual. It's just the way that they express themselves. Or you
Mm-hmm.
have those who are sapiosexual. They prefer somebody of the opposite, sex organ, but they still appreciate somebody or look for somebody who feeds their brain, who is able
Yeah.
to sexualize, or get that sexual response just by engaging in them intellectually. So that's mostly the reason why I think of those labels needing to have some kind of a shift, because we're at a point where we can just be proud of who we are, but also make sure that we are inclusive to everybody else
Mm-hmm.
that we had to exclude in order for us to be proud to be who we are, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
You just give me that whole breakdown.
My bad.
But yeah, sometimes it, like looking at it and like just seeing like how some of the gay community or the community acts in general, it's like people are stuck under that P, that B, the L, the G, like they're just that.
Mm,
And it can get quite annoying because yeah, this person may be, let's say, trans, but they can also identify as other things. Yes, like they may be a woman, man, non-binary, but sexually
mhm.
they may be demisexual, asexual, and things like that. So it does get a bit tricky, especially when you start adding all these other acronyms and letters, and then you introduce the flags. It can get a bit bogged down and sometimes even confusing, especially for those from the also looking in. Because I'm gonna be real, I know I for a fact have been adding more like books that are more inclusive in the community. And there was one book that broke down the acronyms,
Mhm.
and my God, the way it is written, it just seems like a woke gay person trying, and I say woke with quotations,
Mm-hmm.
trying to seem inclusive, because some of those things didn't make a lick of sense.
Girl, I can't say I read that book, but I've been
It's
in.
written for teens.
Oh, wait, is it the one that you share with the that had the dick
No.
that
That is
okay.
a sexual education book.
Okay, I still need to get that.
That is completely different. Like, I am all for positive and informative sex education
Mm-hmm.
for teens.
Same.
Hopefully they're waiting until they're much older, because I'm getting tired of hearing about kids and they're like 11 to 13-year-olds having sex. I'm like, your body hasn't even properly formed yet.
The Holiloquy podcast focuses on the variability of sexual expression. When it comes to sexual expression, we often depend on pornography to illustrate how one must perform sexually. For those who have not learned this by now, the stuff you see in porn is not real. Pornography provides a singular perspective of sexual expression that is not often the reality we see during our own sexual encounters. The Holiloquy podcast is a conversation that takes you outside of the compressed box of what many know about sex. Some of the topics we discuss includes kinks, condom usage, status disclosure, and past sexual experiences. The Holiloquy podcast steps out on sexual norms and recognizes that the norm is not the only normal. Subscribe today and join the conversation.
13-year-olds having sex. I'm like, your body hasn't even properly formed yet. Why are you out here being reckless?
Girl.
Because in some cases, some of these girls can get pregnant at that age.
Mm-hmm. Well, some young girls have been they've started puberty at age 7.
Like,
9.
I got my period at 9, but that's very common on my mom's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have sex until I was in college, but that was a personal choice because I watched two of my sisters, well, my two older sisters, have kids straight out of high school or while they're in high school. And guess who helped take care of those babies?
You.
That's very effective birth control. Taking care of a baby will let you know what?
I can
I
wait.
want to wait on this.
I can definitely wait. But
it's probably why, like, when my who was it? I think it was one of my parents. Like, they actually had a parenting, quote unquote, parenting class in home ec where they had to take care of a baby. It was like programmed to act like a regular baby with the off schedule crying and stuff like that.
That's
what was it? One of my aunts. Either way it went. Someone in my family, and they had kids later in life. I'm like, Eric, that should be a mandatory thing. Y'all gotta take care of this mechanical baby and keep it alive, and then it'll show you, like, do you really want kids at this age? Because it was cutting into a lot of their social lives and stuff like that, because they had to take the baby with them. They couldn't just leave the baby because it tracked things.
It's like that's a argument for why we really do need comprehensive sex education in this country, because that conversation about consent, learning more about your body, learning more about the sexual expression stuff comes a lot later, but just knowing the but how much a child impacts a life, all of that is inclusive whenever you do have something that is comprehensive. From like kindergarten is when they essentially start those classes, so that people recognize, okay, this is my body. I have personal autonomy. That no square,
feet, and mouth to yourself. That follows you throughout the rest of your life. I mean, I'm not sure what happened. They just forgot that part exists. But I feel like labels are important because, like, even like you said, comprehensive sex ed will play a part in that label teaching. Is like, it will teach you how to set firm boundaries in a relationship. Because it depends on where you are in the U.S., you don't get proper sexual education. You don't learn sex is not supposed to hurt. Like, you don't learn that you have a right to say no at any stage of the encounter. Like, how to properly use a condom, how to put it on, the work how birth control actually works, because there are some places in this damn country they're like, oh, birth control is abortion pills. No, that's not how it works.
Texas.
Alaska, actually.
Oh. Oh, that's shocking.
Yeah, there's a YouTube channel called Mama Dr. Jones. She is a board certified practicing OBGYN.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a lot of videos on YouTube that teaches about sex ed, how to use a condom, birth control, how the female body. She does go into like some parts with the men body, but she does do a lot of women reproductive health videos because that's what she knows, that's what she studied, that's what she learned. So it's like, but in Alaska, in one part of Alaska, like they're like, oh my god, because there are teachers using her videos for sex ed because her videos are very good. She breaks down birth controls, the morning after pill, and just like how it all works out in the body. And they're like, oh my god, she's teaching kids how to have sex. That's not how that is. She is teaching them how to make healthy and informed decisions.
Oh, girl, yes, healthy
Which
and informed.
proceeds to help them break down like what they want in a relationship. Because if you're with someone, you don't, even if you're boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife, if you say no and they push that, you should know and be comfortable able to leave them. So it's like learning how to set your own clear boundaries, figure out what you want with yourself, for yourself, and from yourself is how you can navigate relationships and how to set, okay, this is a person I just want to have sex with. This is a person I want to see where this goes. And we're like in that talking phase, getting to know each other. Then you have dating, then you have boyfriend, girlfriend, and then whatever is after that.
Right.
Some people don't believe in marriage. Some they're like, oh, this is my partner, my love connection. Whatever they want to label that relationship, that shows that they are in like some form, like in a marriage like situation. It doesn't have to be truly marriage, but like in a situation where like we are one.
Yeah, a true commitment to each other.
Yeah. So it's like learning how to, like, that's why I think a lot of my things will come back to proper sex ed, or it is learning how to navigate your own sexual life properly and your own mental and emotional health before you can actually set clear labels. Because it aggravates me and hurts me when I hear about people get into relationships where they don't even love themselves, but they feel like they need to be in a relationship. It's like, no, honey. This goes for male, female, non-binary, all those in between, because there are a lot of genders.
Well, girl.
So like all those in between, like if you can't set a clear label for yourself, how can you set a clear label for your relationship later on?
Child. And I like that you mentioned that, because that leads to something that we were talking about in the intake meeting, which is that, that popular question of what are we? Even how so many people have, that fear of that question, but you need to be able to identify what you are with the person and be able to clearly state where are you planning on going with this, that relationship. If you don't see a future in that relationship, let the person know. If you are just, I'm trying to figure out what exactly this is, well, take that time to figure that out. That's great. That's good. That's Gucci. But make sure you are articulating that with that person. What is your take on that question of what are we and where are we going here?
Oh, I am good to ask that question, especially for like 2-3 months into the relationship and I don't know what the hell is going on. So it's like, so where are we going with this? What are we? Because let's be real, I hate wasting my time. I would rather go ahead and get your answer early so I know how to navigate from there than like, let's say like 6 months down the line or further. Like luckily for me, or unluckily, depends on how you want to see it, my boyfriend declared we were dating before I knew we were dating. Really? Like we're in an official relationship. I literally said, what are we? He's like, that would be obvious. I'm like, if I'm asking, it ain't obvious.
But that's a good point. That's why that conversation is always needed, because this is bringing everybody on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have one person in the relationship who's thinking that, oh, we are in a relationship, and another person's like, oh, we just, dating, we're just having conversations with getting to know
Mm-hmm.
each other. And now here we are at this pivotal conversation, this crucial conversation of where we can actually vocalize. This is what we can identify this relationship at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had like a former student of mine, a student I used to work with, who would come to me about advice about something that was going on with her boyfriend at the time. Well, her person at the time, because it
Mm-hmm.
was not a defined relationship. And she'll be like, okay, well, he keeps doing all these boyfriend like things, saying that, we cool or whatever. And I keep asking him, what are we, this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, okay, you need that affirmation. You definitely need that affirmation of knowing exactly where you fit in
Mm-hmm.
his book, where you fit in his life. You have the right to demand that. You have the right to have that conversation. But if he's providing you these vague responses, you have to make a decision of, do you want to continue in the vagueness of it all? Or do you want
Mm-hmm.
to find somebody that can call you what you feel as though that you need to be called?
Yeah.
And if you're not, if you would rather be stuck in the vagueness, then accept that.
Yeah.
Be open to that. That is your choice to continue in that. But if you really, really want that desired label, then demand that. Or
Mm-hmm.
if it's not going to come anytime soon, find somebody that will.
Yeah. Find
Uh,
someone who will be direct with what they want and what they want from you.
mhm,
Like, you can't get mad at a motherfucker who says, like, I've actually encountered some people who got mad about this. Like, a friend of mine was in a relationship. Well, she wasn't a quote unquote relationship
mhm,
with a guy who flat out said, hey, this is just for sex.
mm,
She didn't tell us that until like a month or two after they broke up, because like, oh, he wasn't like taking it seriously, he didn't want to do this or that. And then she was like, well, then she was showing us a text message. I'm like, bitch, he literally said this is a sex situation. I'm like, you out here getting mad at this person, you want a relationship, they just wanted to get off.
mhm.
They set that label right there, you are just for sex.
Child.
So it was like, you got to make sure what you want matches what they want. Like, if you guys are two consistent adults and you just want a sexual relationship and you both define that in the beginning,
Mhm,
boom, that is golden. But if one person tells you one thing but you want another, you can't get mad at them for what they wanted,
mhm. You
especially
may.
if they stated it straight off the bat. Because some motherfuckers, men and women, are like, listen, I just want to get off.
Right.
I don't want a relationship. I just want sex. A motherfucker got stressed too. I'm like, okay, I can respect that. And like, if you tell me that's all you want, I'm like, fuck it.
Look, because I'm not a fan of like trying to mentally figure, like I just don't understand why people, like, even when you have these conversations with people about, okay, what are we doing here, and if they're just on the cusp of claiming it as a relationship, but they're doing the things that you feel as though like people do in relationships or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the type of person who will just create something like, oh, okay, so I guess we are in a relationship because you're doing the boyfriend girlfriend things, and even though you can't say it, I know that we are. I'm not a fan of that. I just can't do that kind of shit. It's like, even if it is something I can't, you came to me, you said it's just going to be sex, and I've been operating as it's just being sex, and you start having deeper conversations with me, and you start doing like other
Mm-hmm.
things, wanting to go grab food, grab drinks, and all this other stuff, I'm still in the look. We're chilling, we're having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
This is not, in my mind, we're not moving into anything more,
Yeah,
because
that's like a homie situation.
the baseline of this relationship was rooted in the sexual acts. That's all. Because I don't mind getting to know somebody like on a deeper level that I'm just fucking. That helps
Mm-hmm.
me with trusting you a lot more, honestly. But if I know that the confounds of this relationship is just a sex, I'm not going to create something in my head to say that, oh, well, we might be dating. No, that's at the root of this. We were just fucking. Like,
Mhm.
we didn't sit down and have a conversation. You didn't ask if you wanted to move this to another level. I didn't ask to move this to another level. If you assume that, let's have that conversation about where we truly are. And we can even have the conversation if we want to move it up to another step, or we can go back to just having casual ass conversation that's not of any substance so that it's better for you. We can reduce the amount of times we see each other just in case if you are in your feelings or if you are stuck in those emotions that you feel as though that this is a genuine romantic relationship, you'll have that time to grieve what you thought it was and then
Yeah.
come back to what this really is.
Hmm. It's like I respect people who put it out there up front what they
Mhm.
want.
Right.
Now it's up to the other party to hear that, uh, ingest it, and accept it.
Hmm.
Because let's be real, we've seen some people just ignore the obvious signs because they wanted something.
Mm.
And it's like communication. Well, yes, the other person communicated what they wanted. They did their part. Now it's up for listening and comprehension.
Right.
If a person straight up tells you you are for sex, I don't want a relationship with you, do not follow this person around like a lovesick puppy.
Because after a while, it's just going to be to a point that you're just using the person.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, well, you're being used in that situation. Because it's
Yeah.
like they told you exactly what this is for. Like that, like when people who decide to like who's I guess their love language is gifting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool. You can buy me whatever you want. That's great. That's cool. But remember, we're here for sex and sex only. Oh, thank you for
Yeah.
the meal. Thank you for cooking for me. That's great. You I love that for you, but remember, this is only about the sex here. This is
Mm-hmm.
only, or even like if it's a cuddle buddy kind of situation.
Yeah.
We're only here to cuddle. I didn't know like can we talk about this like for real because you're doing too much like and that's some people also need to accept that just because someone is doing kind favors to you does not necessarily mean that they're trying to engage in like a romantic relationship too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I would say at least the flip side of that, but
Yeah. Like some people are just genuinely nice.
hmm.
Like they want to help someone who, like, oh, I can help you do that, or I can help you do this, this, and that, the third.
Mm.
It's like, hell, yeah. So it's not like, oh, this person is helping me, so therefore I got me a nice little thing going here. No, they could just be helping because they saw you needed help and they wanted to help.
Mm.
We bring this show up quite a bit, but fraternity court, you see a lot of this.
Oh, girl, not the paternity court,
Because like we hear a lot, like, oh yeah, we were a boyfriend and girlfriend. And of course, like, no, we weren't.
girl.
Like I told you, you were for sex. This is not a relationship. And we see some of those girls and occasionally some of the guys on there looking like idiots because the person clearly does not want them or like them
Mm-hmm.
in such a manner. And they up there hooping and hollering how much they're in love, how much they want to be with this person. The other person is just like, damn, I want tacos right now. I want a Taco Bell open. Because like you can see in their face and body language that they just don't care about this other person.
Mhm.
But this other person is so deeply like in their feelings about it. And it's like me sitting at home, like I can use like a fool on national television
Right.
because you're out here fighting or like arguing and hooping and hollering for someone who does not want you.
And
And the child is there, isn't theirs, and such. Like it's most of the guys like you're just for sex. Like I told you this.
and I just hate that the child is just brought into those
Yeah.
situations too. And it's like whenever I be seeing those on there, and I'm like, oh, I love it when they're just like, oh, we were in a relationship, and then good old Judge Lakes. but were you having sex? That's the
Yes,
question. Well, I
that
don't
was
care
the
about if you're in a relationship or not. Were y'all having sex?
yeah. That's really the only question she'll ask sometimes. They're like, "Well, we dated for like we were only together for sex." Like, did you have sex? That's literally it takes her half the episode to get them to admit they had sex.
Right. I'm like, look, she don't care what the confounds of your relationship look like. You
Yes,
had sex, you had a sexual relationship. That's it. That's it.
and
Like,
that's what a good portion of don't seem to understand. You had sex with this person unprotected.
right.
And then
That
sometimes like she even has to break it down for the person involved. They're like, listen, you see this reaction, you see how what all this you went through. Leave this person alone.
they don't want you. Most definitely those situations where this kind of with labels too. You might have someone who has a whole ass spouse out here. You're
Mm-hmm.
still messing around with that person and you still believe that they're going to leave their spouse for you, and it's been 10 fucking years. They're not
Like
going to.
that unfortunately happens a lot. Man, woman, no matter what, it happens quite often. And it's like if it was just like a couple years, like 2 or 3 years, like okay, there it is leading you on. But it's stretching out 6 plus years. Like I don't feel sorry for you anymore. Like damn, they had all this time to leave them, but they never have. They're just stringing you along because they want a side piece essentially.
Mm,
So like they get tired of what they have at home, they just go to the buffet to your house and have another one.
child. And I think this will be a great tie-in to one of the things that we were talking about in the intake meeting about identifying your current stage in life and
Yeah.
also your next stage in life. And when I think about that, it's like where I'm at financially, where am I at emotionally? Do I have a roof over my head that I can, that I have that every night? Or do I feel as though I am ready to be a parent? When you
Mm.
think about like identifying your current stage in life, what are some of the things that come to your mind immediately? Or what are some of the things you might even recommend to somebody about in terms of how to identify where they are?
Like I have like an internal checklist
Mm-hmm.
in a sense, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, can I provide a viable and decent place to live for myself and my dogs? Yes.
Mm,
Can I afford a healthy and appropriate lifestyle for myself and my dogs? Yes. Can I continue to save, put a little money away for saving? At the current time, yes. But if I was going to stay at my old place or try to look for another apartment, it would have been a little rocky
mm,
to save because rent plus food, gas prices now, and then all my other expenses, it's a lot.
mm,
So like I would have been able to, just not as much as I would like.
mm.
And then it's like career wise, am I making progress? Which is yes. Like I don't factor in a relationship because I want a relationship. I don't need a relationship.
Ooh.
The things I just listed are things that I need. Shelter, of like taking care of myself and paying my bills.
Child, now that you talk about adulting shit, like, oh my. But really, those are some things that you really do have to consider when you are identifying where you are right now in this moment. It's
Then there's like
like,
also health. Health always, but health is always gonna be there. I feel like that's not even need to be said.
mm,
Like you should always take care of your health, physically, mentally, and emotionally. That shouldn't even be said. Your health comes first among all things. Everything else I listed, yeah, those are things I need.
hmm
My relationship is a want. I told him straight up, I want you. I don't need you.
mm,
Because motherfuckers get it twisted. It's like, oh, you need me. Da, da, da. I don't fucking need you. I work. I pay my bills before you. I can be able to pay my bills after you.
child, that's what that you're independent.
So it's like I want him. Yeah, I'm living in his house. He pays all the bills, but I pay for all the shit that goes on in this house.
Mm.
So it's like, I'm about to pay for something because you're not about to have me look like a dependent house dog.
But really though,
Because I just waddle around the house and I'm loud as hell.
like a lot of people really do have to take that time to reflect on where they are in their lives. And this is not to say that you cannot struggle, you cannot be going through your moments of trauma or your survival. It is just recognizing this is where I am right now, and then trying to figure out where or what can I do in order to improve my circumstances so that I can be living a more fulfilled and more sustainable existence. Because honestly, there's a lot of crazy shit out here. There's a lot of high prices, bills keep going up, rent keeps
Mm-hmm.
going up in an astronomical way. Is ridiculous, and it is getting becoming a lot of a struggle for a lot of people. So I'm not, it's not to say that, oh, it's something magical that's going to
Mm-hmm.
just come upon you, but identifying the resources that you need is very crucial and important. And knowing that there are some things that's out there that is free for you, that can assist you in becoming better. Like just the other
Mm-hmm.
day, literally yesterday, okay, I need to stop picking up random people on the street. I will say that. But
Yes.
I picked somebody up because it was 106 degrees outside and they were walking on the side of the street. And I was like, look, I'll take you as far as this one road. Um, and and that was it. And before I let him, walk wherever else he needed to go, which wasn't that far away from where I dropped him off at. I provided him with the resource because he mentioned something about housing. That
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for him to find a place to stay. So I was like, look, contact these people. They can help you out in terms of housing. They also have free to cheap mental health care that you might actually want to take advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things, and then when you come to like when you factor in how much money a person is making on today, taking that time to realize, you know what, my one job is not paying me enough. I need something that pays better.
Mm-hmm.
Taking that opportunity to search and see what is paying better for you, where you can sustain your life, that you can afford a little bit more, be it if it's a work at home position that doesn't require bachelor's degree, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely, if you don't have a bachelor's degree, just identifying these things that will help you out on the long run,
Yeah.
so you can figure out your next steps and
Mhm.
whatnot.
Another thing like that's actually pretty cheap. Okay, it's not cheap. In some terms for people, it's not cheap to get started, but becoming a notary
Mm,
and joining there's some companies that will pay you to be a traveling notary. You get paid a decent bit.
mm,
Like it might not be a lot in some grand schemes, but damn it is money.
right.
You set your own schedule. If you're going to afford to work on the weekends, you can work the weekends because you'll probably make a good bit of money on the weekends because that's when people need shit done the most.
True.
Let's be real. Some of us start when companies, like before companies open and we get off when they close.
Hmm.
Because that's my schedule. I
Look,
go on at 9:15. Most places open at 9:30 and close at 5 or 6, exactly when I get off.
girl, that means you definitely ain't making to the bank. Well,
Mm-hmm.
the Saturday banking. I forgot that's a thing now.
Mm-mm. I'm like, damn, like if I can't get it through the ATM, like, is it worth it?
I just use my card.
Like there are like I literally have a jar of money in this house because I was too lazy to go to the ATM.
I get it.
Like, do I want to go to that damn ATM? I do not. So into the jar it goes.
Hmm.
That's my rainy day fund.
I get that. I used to I used to have like a jar as well of all the coins and whatnot and just keep putting them in there. And I never actually cash that shit out because one, I have to search for what's the coin machine just so I can get bills
Kroger.
back. And it's just like, girl, you have to
Kroger has one. You take the receipt up to the customer
accept
service desk.
it. Not the receipt.
The receipt.
Girl, I'm too lazy for that. Because by the time I'm at Kroger, I realized that one, I should have went home first. Two, I forgot the thing at home. Three, I'll remember next time. Never did. Oh Lord. But yeah, it's a lot of figuring out. Most definitely, because life gets hard. Like that's the truth. Life can get hard, and we are going through some very hard times right now.
Hmm.
But you just have to figure out where you are right now and see what you can like call a thing a thing.
Hmm.
That's
Like
something
if,
that a lot of people have trouble doing, calling a thing a thing.
hmm
If you,
because there's some
Mhm.
people I've met, they're like, I don't want to put labels on it. Labels seem so constricting, but they are also the ones that are most confused about where they are in their relationship.
Mm,
It's like,
mm,
listen, whatever you're dealing with, that's probably a commitment issue or some type of thing that you need to work through. If you need to get a therapist or just talk to someone, like talk to a friend, like talk that out. Find out why you don't want to put a label on something.
mm,
Because a lot of them, like, they don't want to put a label on anything, but then they get upset when that person is like, you know what, I'm tired of doing this. I'm out. Then they want to cry victim. Because I watched that happen to one of my coworkers' oldest son. He refused to like call this girl his girlfriend, give her a proper title, like they lived together and everything.
mm.
So she finally got tired one day and just left.
No, I don't blame him.
And the thing is, he came to his mom like, she left me, mom, da da da. And his mom was like, did they expect you to stay?
Because at that point, what are you? Just roommates who fuck?
Yeah. His mom was like, what did you expect you to do? Sit around and wait for you to finally decide when you want to call her your girlfriend?
Mm,
He got another girlfriend. Actually called put a label on it because he didn't want to relive that last stint.
hmm
And he's doing a lot better because the girl is happy. I'm like, yeah, if you give that person something to work with,
hmm
or at least let them know their position in life, in your life, it'll be a lot easier.
hmm
Like if that person finds out, oh, you're just in it for the stuff, if they want a serious relationship, it gives them time, like, you know what, you're a cool person. I wish you happiness, but our wants don't align.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people have that problem letting go because they get attached or they want it to really, really work out.
hmm
And it's like, listen, don't waste time with someone who probably won't change their mind, and don't work so hard to change someone else's mind.
Mm.
That's not your job.
It's not. And that reminds me of like, even with calling a thing, putting those labels on, when you do place a label, because people are fixated on what does that supposed to mean. That means I have to be in this certain role, I have to behave in this, that, and the third. No, when you do put a label on it, that means that you get to define that relationship. You and that person you're in that relationship with are there to define that relationship, because even
Mhm.
we are so fixated on marriages are supposed to look this way, boyfriend and girlfriend supposed to look this way, dating is supposed to look this way, and that specific way, that specific defined way is not what fits for everybody. You have that conversation with the person that you're interested in establishing that label with. When it comes to marriage, when it comes to you're now going to be my wife, my husband, my partner, whatever it is, you communicate of what that looks like for the both of you. That can be okay, within the confines of this relationship. That means that you, my husband, will be at home taking care of the kids while I'm out working, or you, my wife, be at home taking care of the kids, you, my partner, whatever it is having that conversation of what that relationship looks like. And even how you define that relationship at the beginning, just know that it does still have the capacity to fluctuate and change as the years go by. Because what's the purpose of having a stamped, this is what our relationship is going to be like in 2010, and then expect it to be the same in 2020?
Yeah.
Life changes. So
Mhm.
sometimes you have to change with it. But yeah, I think this will be a good transition into the end of the show and bring out that those cards. So I'm going to do Never Have I Ever this episode and then go into those sex questions. So, Shane.
Mhm.
Oh, this goes back into the last episode. That's a yes. So I'm going to choose something else. Here we go. Never have I ever had sex on my period and didn't tell the other person.
Oh no, he knew. It was
Yeah.
actually the very first time ever while on my period I actually felt any type of need to have sex.
Really?
Yes, when I'm normally on my period, nothing, or like the week leading up to it as well,
Hmm.
nothing.
See, I remember us having that conversation about just how your birth control in general just like zaps your fucking sex drive.
And then like the week leading up to my period and the week of well, my period's only 3.5 days.
Hmm.
So the week before in those days of I have zero sex drive. It's like, mm, I'm sorry, baby. Ain't nothing happening down there.
Mm.
So we always had sex in the shower.
Oh, no, that's less cleanup. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so let me answer that myself. No, I have not. But I cannot do shower sex. I really cannot do it. I've tried it like 3 times, and each time it's just like this is just not hitting it for me. I just can't do it. So, Shane, do you enjoy shower sex?
I do.
Hmm.
I gotta be careful though because I'm asthmatic. So I gotta be careful. So we have to turn the heat down in the shower so I can breathe properly.
Wait, because most women I know have their showers hot as fuck. So,
Yes, it is pure magma.
so do you turn it down for him when he comes in, or is he okay? Thank God,
His showers are like the complete opposite of mine.
thank God, because
Like he turns like we shower together quite often, and I get so upset sometimes. I'm like, ugh. So if I get it before him, I do turn the heat us a little bit, and just like, and like shaking it and basking the heat like a lizard.
women are lizards, y'all. They're the real reptilian race. Let me stop. Don't take that. But really, I do not. I felt women heat before, and I'm not a fan. How is it that you can handle that heat?
Mm-mm. I feel
Like,
clean.
is it like over the years? Did you just transition to the point where you just like, you know what, maybe hotter,
No,
maybe
it's
a
a
little
bath
hot.
I was always put in.
Oh, so you just okay, so you just automatically been used to that. Mm,
Yes, as soon as I was hatched from the egg, I was placed in the warm and hot water.
mm. See
As
now,
soon as I was able to bathe on my own, psh,
like I just don't get it. I be trying, but there's a point where I'm just like, my skin might be boiling at this moment, so I can't like that hot when it's so hot that it feels cold kind of shit. I just cannot. I remember that as a child, and I was like, because of that feeling. I purposely do not run my hot water too long because I'm afraid that when I put my hand in there, it's going to be that hot cold. And I can't do that hot cold no more. I just cannot. That shit is too much. That I will say that is above boiling.
mhm.
I've touched boiled water and water while it's boiling, and it has never been hot cold. Never.
Mm-mm.
So I don't. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Like it is absolutely love the fact that I have allowed him to change my water temperature when I shower. But when it comes down to soaking the tub, oh yeah, he's gotten used to the hot water.
Jesus. Oh God. I'm just thinking about being in that hot of water and I'm
Oh
just
yeah, my
like
poor little boyfriend turns red. He's a lobster by the time he gets out.
I'm like, I'll be quick to put some cold water up in that bitch while I'm
Oh,
putting my
he is.
feet in.
If I don't pay attention, he will literally like turn the cold water on and let like where it doesn't make a noise and let the stream in
Hmm.
as he lets some of the hot water out. I'm like, sir, what the hell are you doing?
That's me. That's me. Just put my foot in slowly, let that soak a little bit. Oh my gosh, that means if I had to be in a hot ass tub like that, it's going to take me 30 minutes just to fully get in because I need to make sure all of my body adjusts properly. So
Mm-mm.
by the time I'm like, okay, feet in. Okay, now it's up to the ankle. Now let me squat a little bit, let the ball soak in there a little bit, little ass cheeks a little bit, let like I'm just sitting. holding it up. Oh,
Mhm.
the muscle strength that a hot bath would do. Let that cook me a little bit and then fully relax. And then, oh my gosh, my back is burning just from the thought of it. Oh my God. Scarred.
Get those little pinpricks. Mm-hmm.
I feel the
So
heat
you
on my
know it's
back,
hot
Lord.
enough.
Oh my God, I can't. Yeah, yeah, I'm imagining all this. I'm already putting the water in. I'm already putting the water in. The cold water.
Mhm.
It's too hot,
But
Lord.
yeah,
It's
now
too
this
hot.
man has me showering in warm water,
Mm, no.
and I
Mm-mm.
hate it.
I love it. That is home. But
Yeah,
you
my
know,
dad agreed with him too. I'm like,
I,
Heat is
I
so hot where when I get out, all I see is steam.
see. I do like a good steamy bathroom, though. I have to admit. Like I'm going to try to get my body to the point where I can actually do that because I be looking at most definitely black women's skin, and I'm just like, I think that's the reason why the skin just be so tight is because they're cooking all the fat already. They cooking
Mm,
everything that was all the impurities on their flesh is cooking away with this hot ass water. It's to the point where when they step out the shower, the skin just glistens because it's like, oh, that's all. That's I did what needed to be done. The
mm-hmm.
impurities are gone.
And moisturize. That's how you stay young.
You're right. You're oh, that does open up the pores too. Mm.
Man, I'm like, well, my boyfriend's skin is looking quite nice because he's been using my moisturizers.
Okay.
Nah,
Yes.
don't congratulate that shit. This motherfucker literally just starts using my shit like, oh, he got that good shit.
Girl, I still remember JD's response when the first time he had cocoa butter.
Mm,
Girl, that shit was so funny. He was like, I did not know cocoa butter would do this to your skin. I was like, yes, that's why a lot of black people use it. That's the reason
we
why.
stay young forever.
That changed his life. Whew,
But
okay.
shit, I had to make fun of him, my boyfriend, for his. I saw a picture of his ex. I'm like, damn, she looks older than my parents. Yeah, I went in. I was mean.
Mm. You are ruthless.
Then he was like, well, I didn't see it that way. You should have saw it that way. Her skin looks terrible.
Nothing against you white people. It's just you gotta moisturize your skin now.
Man, she didn't do moisturizing. I'm like, she didn't have a skin routine.
Look, and I get, lotion doesn't work for all people because I know like for myself, I have very hyperactive glands. So as soon as I put any kind of lotion on, I'm sweating like hell. But there's ways.
Do
There's
you use a
ways.
gel-based lotion?
Girl, I usually just be using oil-based lotions and like cocoa
Mm-mm, use a
butter.
gel-based lotion. They're thinner.
Okay. Yes, get me right. Get me fucking
Yeah,
right.
use a gel-based lotion. It should so it soaks into your skin better. It doesn't sit on your skin, which a lot of oil and based ones do because they're supposed to keep that moisture inside.
Mm. Girl, I could remember the first time my mom put like some, well, where I could remember, my mom put some baby oil on me, girl.
Mm.
I was looking like a freshly cooked fried chicken wing, girl.
There's
Just
not just you. It is a lot of us who did that. Shit,
girl.
my grandmother had some Murphy's hair grease, whatever. She used to lather us down with that. She didn't have oil or Vaseline.
I'm done. Why? Well, Vaseline, I understand. The Murphys?
You know how hard that shit is to clean off?
Yeah, girl. Why would you do that?
My grandmother wanted to make sure we were moisturized, okay?
Oh my God. You can't even wash your hands
We
properly.
couldn't even we were scared to put on clothes.
Oh, grandma.
But
No.
we looked
I'm
moisturized.
sorry.
We weren't ashy for 2 days. You know
Girl,
how hard
you
it is to wash that stuff off?
girl, you could have slipped on concrete.
Slipped on dirt. What are you talking about?
Oh my God. That is
She had us out there glistening in the Compton streets, okay?
Grandpa ain't right.
Grandma had us out there glistening in the streets of LA. That shit was wild.
Damn, grandma would have been better off using some fucking bacon grease or some shit.
Crisco. I would have been better off with Crisco. But grandma had us looking nice.
Oh God. Child, grandma got the body right and then twist the hair a little bit because it's gonna
Hmm.
stick.
Like we were looking shiny out there in the street.
Oh
My dad
God.
saw us one day because we were with there for the weekend. My dad came to pick us up. He was like, "What the hell?"
Girl,
The
just
thing is, he saw us before he saw us because we were so shiny.
oh
He saw these little black dots run across the yard, like the land. He was like, "What the hell?" He thought it was a car.
the fact that now that you said that, that means I know for a fact somebody's grandparents or parent used that old school Jerry curl stuff on their child.
Ooh, the
The
soul
most
glow activator.
oh, we ran out of lotion. Get the soul glow.
Shit.
Oh, the poor children. The poor children. Oh my God. Oh
Man,
my
I already
God.
know. Like, if like we talked about having kids, he's a white man. Our kid's gonna be considered black no matter what they do in life.
True.
Soon as the world find they have a whole ass black mama, they're like, oh, y'all black.
Mhm.
No matter what shade they come out as, they're getting slathered down with lotion, cocoa butter, Vaseline, whatever the hell I have on hand. They getting slathered down before they go to school because they about to go to school looking rough and embarrassing me.
Oh, I'm thinking back to the little those old school days, mama lathering up my arm and everything, that jerk
Rough about
that
it too.
comes with it.
You
Putting on the
being jerked
lotion.
around and
Oh
shit.
shit. Oh God. Yes, black people. I love it.
Why do you think we age so slowly? Because we were being dunked in lotion.
Look, everything, everything.
just just take your clothes off and jump in real quick. That's essentially how it looked.
Girl, I used to hate having so much lotion on my hands or on my skin to the point that it's not going in. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to waste this shit.
I remember trying to sneak out the house once. My mom met me on the porch.
Don't let it be winter. Don't let it be fucking winter.
That's when the thick shit come out. You're like, you have thicker?
Oh God.
It's that lotion that takes like 4 minutes to rub in. No matter how hard you try, like there's more that appears.
My generational trauma is not to put on lotion that much. That's the cycle I'm breaking. Not really. You getting all
Because
that.
damn, because I'm not sure what kind of lotion it was, but the more you rub it, it's like the more appeared. It's like, what the fuck was this made of?
That sounds like Jergens. I'm not even gonna lie. That sounds like Jergens. That sounds
Jerkins
like
Jerkins be real though. That junk is nice.
girl, that should never rubbed in for me. No matter how much, it's just still there. I'm like, okay, all right, let me go to a leg. And then, half the leg is done. So you need to put some more. And now I just have like this little lotion glob right there because now my entire body is fucking lotioned up. And now I have to find a non-exposed place where I can hide this last little glob.
The neck.
Oh, girl. Oh, that's my favorite place to put lotion on.
Mine is under my boobs.
Really? Do you do like a scoop effect, or do you like lift? I see. I
actually like no, I do one boob at a time. I like cup it and like just rub it.
See, I know.
If you like shine a bowling ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm lotioning my titty.
See, I do the under boob swipe with both hands. That's how I get that. And then
I be polishing these bitches because they deserve treatment.
I support. Oh God. Okay. Before we close out the show, we're gonna do this sex question.
Oh, we haven't answered the question?
Girl, that was from One Never Have I Ever.
Oh shit. What was that? Oh yeah, from showering, had sex in the shower. No, the period sex.
Period sex, yeah. Period sex went to Lotion, y'all. Oh my God. This is why we listen to the Holistically podcast, because it's all about the tangents. You learn and you also enjoy. So this question is, what's your go-to feel-good sex position?
Doggy.
Same.
Back art. I can put my head on the pillow and call it a night.
Girl, not that you out here being a lazy fuck, but you know what? I also support.
No, it's not a lazy fuck because I gotta legit put my hands on the wall to keep from moving.
Oh, so you gotta work out that upper body strength at the same time.
Yeah, I gotta make sure my face doesn't go into the headboard.
Yes, yes. I support all of that. Oh
So
God.
yeah, I'm not lazy fuck. I gotta keep both of us in one spot.
Look, if you out here
That's
been
tiring.
if you are a lazy fuck, I support you either way. Like those who are, because sometimes I will be. I have to be honest. I be feeling lazy, so I'm just like, I'll let you take control here, and I'm going to chill out, be in my own
Well,
zone.
it's not because I'm being lazy, it's because he goes deeper that way. It's a deeper fuck. And I'm like, I need that sometimes.
Yes, yes. Get all the inches, bitch. Get all the fucking inches.
I want all the inches, damn it.
Just don't hit the cervix. I heard that.
Oh yeah, yeah. He
Painful.
doesn't hit the cervix. He did once, and I'm like, we're done here.
Mm-mm,
He
mm-mm.
was so shocked because I like legit. This is how he found out I was kind of low key flexible. I literally took my leg out of his hand, put it on his chest, and kicked him off of me.
Mm.
I'm like, nope, you hit the cervix. Oh, it hurt. And that bitch decided to like hurt for a day and a half.
Mm.
I'm like, I don't know what bitch is like this.
Look, if you like painful sex, y'all do y'all. I can't. Mm-mm. I can do painful play, that spanking and all that other stuff. I can
Yeah,
do that,
Spain, pull my
but
hair. Yeah, don't hit the cervix.
mm-mm. If it makes me say, ah, shit, mm-mm. It's not for
Mm-hmm.
me. If that's out of pain, I can't. Mm-mm. It's traumatic. Uh, so, Shane, do you have
Mm-hmm.
any last messages for the audience?
I always say the same thing. Just try to understand yourself first
Yes.
before trying to know what you like, know what you want. Like if you know you're not gonna be satisfied in a monogamous relationship, understand that. If you know that one person is not enough, please understand that. And if you try, like just because like we're seeing it, I'm not trying to pull them in or anything, but we're seeing it with Willow Smith, how her parents are in an open relationship. She thought that was all the rave.
Mm-hmm.
But now that she's in a relationship trying to figure out herself, she is not into the open relationship business.
Right.
So it's like just because you see how a lifestyle is doesn't mean it's right for you.
That's a good one. You're right. You're right. Amen to that. Because you have to, like you said, you have to figure out what is best for you, what's right for you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else's story is not going to be your story, and don't
Yeah,
make.
like just because you like a person doesn't mean they're gonna be accepting or willing to be an open relationship or a polyamorous relationship. Those are two
Right.
separate things. Some people don't understand that poly and open relationships are different.
Mm-hmm.
A polyamorous relationship means like there's relationships within that relationship. Open means you're okay. It's like a swinger essentially, in my understanding of open relationships.
It's all about the communication of it all.
Yeah.
And, it's like you have that opportunity to go out and explore other people
Mm-hmm.
or other situations, and it's we're open to each other. We are open, like even with that, an open relationship doesn't even necessarily have to mean that other people outside are going to be influencing your relationship or even you engage with them sexually of that nature. It can just be having someone that you just need to go out on dates with that fulfill a
Mm-hmm.
certain need. So the parameters vary. It's just having those conversations with your partner and with yourself of what you want within a relationship. And be sure that what you want is what you want and not what other people told you that you should want.
Yeah. Or what they deem acceptable.
Mm, exactly.
Like I said before, like open and poly poly relationships aren't for me.
Mm,
But I'm not gonna turn my nose up to anyone who's into that.
right.
I'm like, if you're happy, your partner or partners are happy, live your life. Be happy.
Because I know I'm somewhere on that spectrum.
What the
Poly
open
side.
poly? Oh,
Hmm.
like it's not for me, but I'm like, shit, if it makes you happy, by all means, do you.
Right.
Just don't try to pursue a relationship with me because I already told you straight up what I do and do not want. You're gonna be very unhappy with me.
Hmm. Shoot. On that note, thank you so much for being on the podcast, Shane. I
Of
appreciate you.
course.
the artist formerly known as S, as in Shane. Uh, and thank you all so much for listening to the Holy podcast, where we step out and speak about sexuality. Just in case no one else told you this today, you are beautiful, you are worthy of happiness and joy, you are enough and then some. You may not live up to the expectations of others, but that is okay. You are only required to walk in your own shoes. May each day you live lead you towards abundance. With that said, love you all and see you next episode.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Holiloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at www.holiloquy.com. That's www.heauxliloquy.com. Share the podcast with your friends and join the conversation.